We are going to talk about music and the chakra centers, and we are going to start with the auric space around us. Music has an effect on all types of auras, but much more on a mobile aura than on a still one. Some people's auras have a different quality of exchange cosmically, and you can feel the mobility in the aura very strongly. The artistic person, the dancer, very often certain types of musicians, have auras that move very quickly. Very often they are orientated to the centers which are on the surface. Their surface chakras have got an incredibly tight whirl, and their reaction to sound the minute it penetrates the aura is quite explosive. If we go back to different primitive civilizations, we find that they had the ability to go up or down. They earthed themselves through grounding type music and often used their feet for healing, or they could go very high by allowing the stamping and circling movements to push their centers into extreme activity in which they could reach a dizzy high state. As this is very close to being drunk, and as it can produce visions or hallucinations, this was their way of reaching a high consciousness, but they could not fully utilize it, and they also used intuition. They could sense things well and see into the etheric, but they lacked sophistication in knowing and classifying what they were seeing. Within the time layers of our brain's evolution, we don't have to go very far back to uncover instinctive areas that can be reawakened by a strong drum beat. So the primitive beat will have a bigger effect with people who have mobile auras, which react very quickly. If a person has a large mobile aura, once they start to spin, they create a situation in which they almost cannot stop dancing. Remember the story of the red dancing shoes, or the fairy tales when somebody starts to dance and cannot stop. This means that they have set up certain reactions in the auric space and have lost the earthing ability, and their mind goes into a dizzy kind of state. They lose control and are actually moved by the forces in the room. They move and dance very well, but the forces are very strong. If the person has got quite a big aura, he will in the end go on dancing until the vibration of the music stops. One does not have to worry unduly about this, because there are very few people who can get to that stage. People with quiet auras often make good therapists. They are likely to be drawn to a different type of music, and it takes a little more time and perhaps a drink for them to warm up. If they go to a dance, they cannot get into it so fast. They feel a little bit awkward, and what they do not realize is that they have other faculties. It is not necessary to go to a dance hall and immediately feel like moving. Those who don't may be people who are centered more inwardly and who therefore notice more. They are aware from deep inside themselves, and it is difficult for them to cast off all inhibitions and just join in a mad rush to throw the body around.